Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Flynn, for the wonderful introduction. Really quickly, I just want to shout out and showcase all the people who shared their stories and shared their internship experience. I'm always reminded, right? Only 1% of the population can speak publicly. So to see you all have done so eloquently on this evening, I am delighted to be before you all. But again, good evening. Welcome to the 8th Pathways Academy Internship Appreciation. Thank you, ReadyCT, for putting together this event and supporting the information technology pathway. Thank you to Pathways Academy of Technology and Design. Thank you to Hartford Public Schools and Travelers Foundation for your partnership and key resources that help to make this work possible. Thank you to all of the organizations, businesses, and companies that hosted the interns and that are even on this evening as we are gearing up for the holiday season. I know it's also late. Special thank you to each of you. I also want to give a special thank you to Mr. Flynn for providing me with the opportunity. Thank you to all of the parents, community members, staff, administration, and everyone else, both present and a part of this work. Now to the students. Please join me in a virtual round of applause as we acknowledge all of your hard work. Congratulations. It is both a privilege and an honor to be before you all in this virtual space. I promise not to take too long. My hope is to impart words of motivation and wisdom to support you as you script your legacy of greatness. And just so I am clear, I want each and every one of you to know that I speak in the presence of what is an amazing cohort of students. So even if you have not fully spoken that over yourself on tonight, I invite you to receive it and begin declaring it as well. This speech I'll title The Power of a Decision. And it's interesting because right after I wrote the title, I stopped and looked at my phone, of course. Don't laugh. We all get distracted sometimes. I'm honestly grateful for this distraction though, because instead of 30 minutes of Instagram Reels, it was a text message that said, "What's it like making your way at a young age?" What's it like making your own way at a young age? So as we journey through our time together, I ask you to help me as we wrestle with this question. My first response to this question is spend time learning who you are. I once heard a quote that said, if an egg is broken by outside force, life ends. If broken by inside force, life begins. Great things always begin from inside. That quote stresses the importance of a relationship with self. As you are navigating high school, this pandemic, and everything else life brings you, it is imperative that you are grounded in who you are. The reason why I start with this, because the fact is, in order for you to be a good intern, you must first be the CEO of your relationship with self. I don't say that to say you must have life figured out, do everything on your own, and that you are to be perfect. Of course not. We all know that is not the case. Instead, I share that to encourage us to take ownership of practices and techniques that we can use to build our understanding of self. To name a few, journaling, finding hobbies that bring love, joy, and/or peace, meditation, disconnecting from social media every now and then, spending time with yourself, asking yourself open-ended questions and letting your mind wander. The list can go on and on. Some may work and others not so much. But ultimately, I challenge you to do what you see fit to better learn yourself. But whatever you decide, be patient and consistent. It won't all come overnight. Just like relationships with others take time, so does our relationship with self. The day you plant the seed is not the day you enjoy the fruit. My second response to the question, make a decision of how you will present yourself. My senior year of high school, I worked at Chipotle and was also on the starting five for my high school's basketball team. Things got tough at home and I had to step up financially, so I decided to quit the basketball team so I could pick up extra shifts at work. It's interesting. Before I got to tell my coach and job about my decision, one of my managers pulled me into the office during one of my shifts, explaining how I was on the verge of being fired because I was not performing well. Clearly, I was in a difficult position. Job on the line, needed to help back home, and considering quitting the team. But it was on that day that I made a decision. I told myself I was going to quit the team and take my performance to the next level. In about a month's time, I was offered a managerial position, was one of the top performing staff, and was viewed as a leader by both my coworkers and superiors. I share that because that decision taught me 3 things that I've applied to every big decision I've made since. 1, decisions start with both belief and seriousness, which you never have too much of. 2, when you make big decisions, be okay with believing when nobody else believes it or acknowledges the changes you are working towards making. 3, really hear me on this one. No matter how good or how bad your grades are, no matter how well or how poorly you've performed, no matter what people think or say about you, you always possess the power to make decisions that will literally change your life, but you have to be the one to make that decision first. Okay, fine, an added bonus. Through consistency and results, people will either grow to believe in you and accept it, or they may continue to hold you to who you once were, and you may have to leave them there. Either way, you win. To bring us back to my responses to the question raised in the beginning, what's it like making your own way at a young age? Let's quickly recap and move forward. I first said, spend time learning who you are. Secondly, make a decision of how you will present yourself. Now, my third response, one word, explore. Sometimes in order to go to places you've never been, you must go down roads you've never traveled. I saved this response for last because it is extremely difficult, but it is also, if not more, beneficial as well. We have to be willing to break out of our comfort zones. I know you've heard it before. Be comfortable with being uncomfortable, but truly, we have to be willing to get out of our shells, and here's why. Think about this. The quote I mentioned about the egg said, "If broken by inside force, life begins. Great things begin from the inside." Meaning life and great things begin with ourselves, right? In our shells. Did you catch that? So the question then becomes, how do we then sustain life? How do those great things then evolve? Well, now that we've broken out of our shells, everything we need to live can no longer be in our shelves because we've already broken them, right? Okay, stick with me. So in order to get whatever we need, we will only find it if we set out and explore. You see, as you apply the power of the relationship with yourself and begin to learn yourself while making these bold decisions, you're inevitably going to break whatever shells and comfort zones you may be in. So the piece of the puzzle that remains is exploring. Meaning, even if it is filled with fear and uncertainty, explore. I'll close this out with this story. The man who asked me the question I started off with, I met 4 years ago at a community event. Why? Because as eager and as bold as I was, I made a decision that I was going to network with as many successful community leaders, politicians, entrepreneurs, and whoever else that I could. When I shared my desire to be actively engaged and involved in the community, we scheduled a preliminary meeting. After several meetings, as he got to know me, he gave me an opportunity and I was offered a summer internship. Although fearful and unsure, I said yes, because I explored what was possible and I realized that I actually loved the internship more than I could ever imagine. I put forth my best effort, led with that passion, and started getting more responsibilities along the way. Fast forward, I was offered an opportunity to intern again the following summer. And again, although the fear and uncertainty still lived in me, I explored and said yes. Fast forward to the end of that summer and into the new year, here I was in my senior year of college. Then came the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic and a decision I needed to make about my post-college plans. Now, the fear took itself to an all-time high because no one had ever worked full-time for the Dream Support Network, as it was something that my mentor did as a passion and hobby, and truthfully, paid my internship from his own pocket. Yet, after several conversations with him, I decided to build that internship into what is now my full-time job. And although fearful and doubtful, I explored and defied what I thought was possible. And with the support from so many people, here I stand, we're in a virtual space, a year and a half later as executive director of the Dream Support Network. G-Eazy once said, "Chase anything you have the passion to do. It'll only be a dream until it happens to you." When Alex mentioned empowering dreams for graduation and employment, I almost fell out of my seat with excitement because let me tell you this, education truly is a tool and the catalyst for making dreams reality. So understand programs and initiatives like this, the education in which you are receiving, the networks in which you all have, all of that will come together and allow you to make your biggest and wildest dreams a reality. So if you are listening right now, if you are sitting back, I want you to sit up a little bit, dust yourself off, lock in your mind what your biggest and wildest dreams are, because these are literally arenas where dreams will be made reality. So to answer the question one more time, how do we as young people make our own way? Well, we spend time learning ourselves. We make decisions of how we will present ourselves to the world. And we explore because there is beauty and possibility on the other side of fear. And guess what? You're young, so you have the gift to try, explore, learn, do, fail, fall down, get back up, try again, and repeat. So today, I say congratulations to you as interns, but I also say congratulations in advance, as I know you all will evolve into the CEOs of tomorrow. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Matthew. That was amazing. I feel inspired to go out and conquer the world now. Thank you so much.